Hey, look guys, we're at Istanbul, we're in the Caparo T1, and it's our cup race. 5 laps around this intermediate track, which we've raced before. And I'm going to try and get all the way to first if we can. Oh, dang it. Alright, so we're in 9th now. That's a pretty good first corner. We got 7 spots. Rick Scott's in last place. And these cars are still as fast and crazy squirrely as I remember them. In the corner here, we're going to need to brake a little early for that. That's fine. And somebody spun. Alright. I think that was my teammate. Or the driver who would normally be my teammate. Going off-road. I made it back on. Okay. Oh, no, sorry. Sorry. I don't even know where we got 16 of these things to race. Oh. How about we just do this whole thing over again? Can we just... yeah. There you go. Oh, dang it. No, bumped. Bumped. And... oh yeah, I almost lost it there too. That's fine. We can do this. We can do this. Come on. Nice. Nice. And this guy's going to be easy to pass. Can I split them? Yes, I can split them both. Nicely done. Alright. I think I bumped him a little bit. Oh. Oh, I bumped him. Hi. Sorry for bumping you. Yeah, these are very rare cars. At least when I'm bumping them, I'm not really, you know... guys, it's so squirrely. Oh, it just wants to fly out from underneath me. Alright, so second, and then we got Mr. Ferrari in first. No relation to the Motorsport company. That's what Ferrari is nowadays. They're mostly, first and foremost, interested in motorsports, and kind of the cars are a means to an end, I tend to believe. Or, oh, jeez, what the hell was that, Mr. Ferrari? What are you doing there? Trying to wreck me? I don't think that'll work. But, yeah.
Set the fastest lap this race.
Here we go. Last lap. We got clean air in front of us, so we should set an even faster lap this time. This will just be like I was running in practice, so it should be a fast lap for sure. And geez, that is a gap and a half. So I'm already up over 3 seconds on the rest of the pack. Just second place guy is all I got to worry about. Okay, and then go through the short section that connects the 2 parts of the longer track. And now this corner, I try to brake a little early on this corner because it tightens up here on this end, and you gotta go uphill to this slightly tighter section, and the wider turn is a little more of a turn where your car will step out in the back end, so you want to be careful there. And down here as well, you want to be careful that you don't have a issue where you brake and suddenly your car's back end is visible from your front end.
2 laps to go.
There's the kind of chicane triple section at the back here where it's like a slow left, a slow right, and another slow left. Shaped like an M. Camel humps. It's this big long straight with the one tiny corner, and this normally goes on for a little bit more into the turn 7 complex over there, which is what we're bypassing with the shortcut here. It's all we're really bypassing, maybe that and another corner. Not a whole lot. So just kind of come on up here. Again, up to the section where it goes uphill. Normally it's a downhill turn. It's still just as tight as it is going the normal way around the track. And then back out to the start-finish line. And there's the pit exit. I almost said entrance. It would be the entrance if we were going this way around the track, but it's actually the exit. The entrance is down here.
You're in the lead. Extend the gap.
Right there. So, oh wait, no, there it is right there. I was like thinking, wait a minute, that's not it. Because it comes out before that turn. And this corner right here, the one we just went through, is somewhat famous for being the corner where Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber came together when they were racing for the lead. I think it was the 2010 Turkish Grand Prix. But they were racing for the lead, and Red Bull didn't have any team orders, where it's like, okay, you know, driver number 1, you have to let driver number 2 pass, or driver number 2 hold your position. Mostly because team orders were supposedly outlawed. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, you know. They weren't really outlawed, but you couldn't at least make them deliberate. Though Red Bull really didn't have team orders, so they let them kind of race. They let Webber and Vettel race, and I'm pretty sure Webber was leading, Vettel was trying to pass him for the lead, and they got down into that corner and wrecked. And I can't remember exactly what happened. I think it was Vettel came outside and Webber hit him or something. It was pretty funny. Yes, I got the cup win though. And damn you, Rick Scott. Damn you, damn you, damn you. Stop running faster laps than me. My teammate was really slow. 115. I don't even know. I give up on his teammate. Alright, so I qualified second by 17 1/1000ths of a second, so it was very close. I kind of got beat at the line by Rick Scott, unfortunately. But the good news is this is an oval, so I shouldn't have any issues with getting to the front and staying out front. Oh. And apparently that is a lot of cars that just kind of dropped off the back there. And hopefully they can kind of draft off Rick Scott here coming down the back stretch. Catch up to him a little bit. Pull me closer, baby. Pull me closer. I'm drafting a little bit. I can see myself pulling closer. And slow down when I hit that wall of air. I'll stay behind him here for lap 1. I don't need to push quite so hard yet.
Nice work on the first lap. You're in second place.
Let's see if I can get inside. Oh. Getting together there. So stay behind him. Just stay behind. You can kind of draft him down the back stretch a little bit here. Getting high going into 3. I think that'll be to where I have to make my move at. So just keep drafting, and oh, whoa! What happened there? Just let off the gas big time. Was he afraid I was coming down on him or something?
You've set the fastest lap this race.
This just slowed down a whole hell of a lot. I got 7 laps around here though, so now I gotta hold them off for 5 more laps. That's gonna be really fun. Not. Got something so 90s there, didn't it? Oh man, this game is really awesome. Not. Those shoes are really cool. Not. You haven't heard that in a while. What's that? So it's tires. Oh, must have been the third place guy. Squealing his tires. Yep, still barely ahead of him. Just barely ahead of him. There we go. Nicely done. Outside on the wall. So the reason they're catching up to me so much on the oval is just because of the way that drafting works with the aerodynamics and the extra speed you get when that air is not basically blasting your car and adding a whole bunch of additional force to whatever. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, basically Mr. Scott there is in a pocket of less turbulent air behind me because my car is breaking the air for him. So long story short, what's going on is he's getting a smoother ride, and he's not having to use as much power to kind of break through the air. So I'm doing all the hard work for him, and he's benefiting from it by getting a nice draft off of me, which lets him go faster. So let's see if I can just hold him off here for 2 more laps. Oh, get out the grass. You can pass me now if you wanted to, but he doesn't have a run, which is a good thing. So if I sneak down here, is he going to follow me down? No, he's not going to follow me down. Oh, yeah, that could be bad. I lost my control there. 200 miles an hour. It's not something you want to have happy. You don't want to get loose at all. The second I get loose in this car, I'm going into the wall. You see, they are trying to keep the draft, and it comes down. Now, that's pretty cool. They actually do, the AI actually does, you know, aggressively try to keep the draft. And if for example, I'm up near the wall, it'll follow me up near the wall. If I go down here, he won't necessarily follow me down here, but he'll follow me if he needs to follow me to get a draft off of me. So yeah, he's trying to go down there now. He's not just trying to pass me, he's trying to draft off me and pass me. He's only got 1 more corner to do it. He's got to do it basically at the end of this corner. So if I go down here, he's not going to follow me down there. Nope, I got this. Can't pass me unless I screw this up and pull a J.R. Hildebrand. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Okay, good. Yes. Nicely done. It was a good race. It was fun. Let's do it again. Oh, and by the way, that means I've clinched the championship, so yay! Ah, Spa. 3 laps around the sports car course, which the difference between sports car and the GP circuit is the starting point. So, sports car starts here in the back stretch, leading up into Eau Rouge, and GP starts on the normal stretch, and that's why I hate that corner. Come on, get out of the way. Alright, so let's just quickly brake. Nicely done. And Mr. Scott is out in front, so I gotta try and catch up to him if I can. Alright, so let's see here. Now, there's not really much difference in the 2 configurations at Spa, and I went off the track. But there used to be, kind of with all these old tracks, a lot of them have been, I guess you could say, no. But a lot of them have been redone, so to speak, I guess you could call it that. They've been redone for the modern age, so they're a lot shorter than they used to be, because a lot of the tracks, like for example Nürburgring, Le Mans is kind of the only one that still has its old shape to it. But a lot of these old tracks used to be like these big, gigantic tracks back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and even up to the 50s and maybe 60s. There were these huge tracks that would just use public roads, and you know, you'd be racing by farms and houses and into the middle of towns. The old Watkins Glen track was actually in the middle of Watkins Glen, New York, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Have all these tracks where cars were actually driving through towns. And of course, you probably think, well, that seems totally unsafe, and it absolutely was. It was like Spa. It was a very, very dangerous track. Nürburgring was a very, very dangerous track. These tracks regularly had spectator injuries, driver injuries. Drivers were getting killed on a fairly constant basis because the runoffs were, well, really the runoffs were just whatever you happen to hit. I know I shouldn't really laugh. You know, it's kind of a chuckle of a, oh god, I can't believe that actually was a thing at one time. Oh, really? Inappropriate, sir. I'm trying to tell a story. Oh.
Looks like Rick Scott has crashed.
Oh, and that is what I was afraid of as well. Okay, come on, at least let me just get inside. Okay. I'm gonna have wonky steering, I guess, the rest of the race. Whatever. Whatever. That's what the penalty I have to pay. But yeah, a lot of these tracks had really terrible safety. Maybe they'd put up some hay bales if you were lucky, or if you were really lucky, you got like an Armco barrier here or there. But yeah, it was just those days it was completely unsafe to be a race car driver, and for the most part, you had a lot of fatalities, and if you were lucky to be able to survive a race, it just meant you would have to go to the next one in like 2 or 3 weeks and hope that you would survive that one as well. And a lot of you don't hear a lot about old drivers like the greats. Like you think of a lot of the great drivers and how many of them, the great champions, managed to survive without serious injury or getting killed on the track. There's not a whole lot of them, and fatalities in Formula One and like all forms of motorsport up until about mid-90s were a serious problem. We had people dying every year, and really it kind of goes back, a lot of the safety stuff, it goes back to a driver by the name, you've probably heard of him, Jackie Stewart. He was a Scottish driver, Formula One world champion, and he had been, I can't remember which track, it might have been Spa, it might have been Nürburgring, I can't remember which one it was, one of those two, and he had been involved in a very, very serious incident, I think a year or so prior, and damn near killed him. If I remember right, his car went through a house. I can't remember if this is... Yeah, I always get these stories mixed up. I think this is Jackie's story. His car went through a house and ended up in the basement, and it was leaking fuel and everything, and he was pretty badly injured. But next year when they were going to go to Spa, he got all the drivers together and said, look, we can't keep having this happen. We gotta take a stand, and we gotta protest and say we're not going to race if the racetrack isn't safer. And he actually got everybody got most of the drivers, I think a significant number, to agree not to race that weekend until safety measures were going to be looked at. And around that time is when they started actually listening to the drivers and doing the improvements, and a lot of the times the first improvements were just to put chicanes up in the middle of long straights. They would just put chicanes up in the middle of straights to keep the speeds down. So they were like, that'll shut them up. But no, it didn't really shut them up. Kept kind of pressing them for more and more, and started to put actual barriers, actual Armco barriers, to replace the hay bales, and driver safety improved with the gear they wore. And even then you still had incidents. You had field marshals getting killed, drivers getting killed still, and yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about the Spa of old and this Spa and how different they are.
You absolutely dominated that last lap. Great finish.
Nice. I got distracted there for a moment. I was like trying to think about my story, and I got distracted, but we won again. Yay. One more race left to go. It's Indianapolis, and can't wait to do that one. So let's go. So it comes to Indy for one final race, and I'm on the pole. I had a 40.77 as my lap time, which is not too bad. I don't know how that compares to the actual speeds from last year, because they don't qualify on time in Indianapolis. They qualify on 4-lap average of speed, so you only run 3 laps in Grid Autosport's qualifying, and they only run on time. So I'll have to do some math to figure that out. But it would be a pretty competitive lap. I'd probably be at least midfield if I were actually racing this in real life. But yeah, this is it. 7 laps of this. And I mentioned before, I think during the oval race at Autosport, I kind of mentioned not doing a Hildebrand, or not being like J.R. Hildebrand. So where that came from, what that references to, and I mentioned I would talk about it when it was more relevant, but it's relevant here at Indy because what that refers to is that in 2011, which was the year that Dan Weldon won, it was also the year that he was killed in the series finale. J.R. Hildebrand was leading a race his rookie season, and he was going to win the Indy 500. And it was going to be awesome for him. You know, obviously winning the Indy 500 in your first attempt is nothing to scoff at. But he was coming down, you know, down the backstretch and into the North Chute, I believe. North Chute is the one because this is north. What's that hill doing there? There are no hills. Don't get lazy on me now. There's some hills up there, guys, but he was coming down here into the North Chute and got up into turn 4, and Charlie Kimball was coming down here on the apron, so he went high to go around him. And unfortunately, what happened was he got stuck in the marbles, the little bits of rubber that come off the tires as the race goes on, because the tires degrade, and that rubber has to go somewhere. It just doesn't magically disappear. There's little tiny bits of rubber. And when you get up into that section of the track, what happens is you lose traction and you can very easily end up in the wall in one of these cars. And that's what happened with him. He crashed on the last lap in the last corner, and his car was skidding down the front stretch, and Dan Weldon, who was in second, just drove right past him to win it. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life, and it was the year before I went. So I kind of regret not going in 2011 and waiting a year later. Though the 2012 race was pretty cool too. It's the first one they had the W12 Delaras, the car we're racing in right now. It's the first year they had them there, so that was a sight to behold. But yeah, it was just I was watching it that day. I could not believe what had just happened. So yeah, it was. I still don't get why they put hills up there, other than they might be just lazy and didn't finish the hitbox, the skybox up there. Hitbox, really? It's not a first-person shooter, but the skybox, they didn't quite finish it. And you can kind of see that there's like, it's like they ran out of stuff to put. Oh, hit the wall, damn it. You kind of see just right there, they ran out of stuff to put, and it's just like a hill. It's supposed to be something off in the distance, and I don't think that's how it looks in real life, because there's houses and stuff there. Speedway is actually a town that Indianapolis Motor Speedway is in. It's an actual town, which is unique in Indianapolis, because the whole city and county is otherwise merged together except for a couple of small towns, and Speedway happens to be one of them. So there's like houses. There's houses that are not necessarily right next to the track, but they're within a good distance. I've always wondered what it would be like to kind of live in one of those houses. And if I ever moved to Indianapolis, I probably would try and look into an apartment or somewhere close to the Speedway, just so when May comes around, I'd be able to be like, "Hey guys, I'm calling in sick." Are you at the racetrack? No, I am not. That was just my weird cough. It sounds like a race car. And we're done. There we go. Nicely done. Alright. Yeah, man. How did I not do fast? That's why I probably didn't do fast laps, because I was out front the whole time, so I was having to deal with all the air, whatever. But we did it. We won every single race in this cup, if I recall right. But doesn't matter, because look at that. 97 points up on Rick Scott. My teammate finished the full 280 points behind me. How terrible is that? I scored all the points for our team. There we go. Get a lot more points, thank you. 32,000. End of season 28.
Great season.
Pop the cork.
Doubt in anyone's
Yes.
mind you're ready
Yeah, we're almost
to take on the
to
grid championships. Go for
almost
it.
to level 10 there. But yes, lady, you are correct. There is no doubt in my mind that we can do it. Grid Legend Series awaits us. I want to take a peek at it. I just want to take a peek at it. That's all I want to do. I want to take a little peek at it. Little peek at it. Let's just...
Okay, Tiger. The next Grid Championship event is now open.
Yes,
to
I
you.
know. I know.
Winning there will reinforce your reputation
No,
as one of the best
it will finish
racers on
the
the
game
scene.
off is what it will do.
You've
So,
got a team wanting you to race in Tier 3.
yes.
It'll be a change in car class, so expect the competition to really heat up.
Alright, thank you.
So coming off a great season like that is going to
And
get
look at that.
teams knocking
Raven
at your
West
door.
wants us to race with
Raven
them.
West are looking to you to raise their status this season.
I think we're going to have to do it, guys. We're going to have to go with Raven West. Just because it's an option. And really, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all who we go with. We got 50,000 championship, 25,000 as the team bonus. And here are our races. 10 events. We have Hockenheim Ring. That's I think it's touring. Event race. Okutama. It's probably street. IndyCar, GP Circuit, Sepang Time Attack, Circuit of the Americas Endurance Race, Mont Tremblant Grand Prix Circuit, that's a hypercar, one drift event, damn you drift, Indy Oval, which we just did, that won't be too much of a hassle, Mount Panorama in a Holden VF Commodore, so that is V8 Supercar, and then the final race is going to be another endurance race at Spa. A lot to do, a lot to check out. We will do this next time on Grid Autosport. We're going to put an end to this thing, or at least start putting an end to this thing. I am NihonTiger. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you very soon around the track for one last series.